I really believe that God has put me on this earth to help people, to help causes, to bring a smile on someone's face. I guess part of it was my teaching from all the rabbis who I studied under, and surely receiving my rabbinate from the Hebrew Theological College and understanding what a rabbi's function in this world is. I try to take it to a different level.
To me, Morris is a very unique human being. At the time of 11, Morris left for the yeshiva. And when he came back and told me that he made a promise to his Rabbi, for every dollar he made, one for him and one for Hashem. That's Morris.
He can be in a room and he sees that person that has a special need, and where all of us might hesitate for even just a moment before we would actually extend our hand. Not only does he extend his hand, he extends his heart.
It's just incredible. It's not an easy path that he chose, because you have to give not just of your money or of your time, it's of yourself. What an example to follow.
Morris is absolutely the epitome of a true philanthropist, because he does not do it for any personal motive, for he feels this is his purpose, his mission, and his religious obligations, which he tries to fulfill. So Morris has been totally committed to providing for schools in Chicago, in New York, New Jersey, and he has just completed a total educational complex in Norman Beach, Florida.
He came to the community. He came. He walked into my door. Nobody approached him and revved him up and says, "Hey, Rabbi Moshe, look what's going on in this community." No. He came to me knocking on my door and told me, "Rabbi, where is the school in this town? Why there's no Jewish education?" This really says who he is. I see it in my circle, which is Jewish education. But Rabbi Moshe is not just limited, as we all know, to Jewish education. He has no limits.
Whether it's day school education, welfare in Israel, taking care of the most in need in Chicago and other communities, God, Torah, and peoplehood resonate so very strongly for him. He lives his life that way, and he provides his tzedakah in keeping with those values.
The year was 1985, and my parents had decided that they were going to go to Rome and to Italy and to do some vacationing. It was a Motzi Shabbos. Flora called me in a panic. My mother had just called, and my father needed to have surgery for a bleeding ulcer. He was bleeding terribly. It is an 8-hour flight back to New York from Rome, and it is a 3.5-hour flight to Israel. And we had to decide which route to go. We got to Israel. My friend Shlomo Eisenbach had the ambulance there, rushed him to Shaare Zedek, and that day performed surgery, which lasted about 4 hours and literally saved my father's life.
Thank God, Kanai Nahara, my parents are still very active in their 80s, and we have that Karas Hatov to Shaare Zedek.
It is a mainstay hospital in Israel. It services hundreds of thousands of Jews and non-Jews, Arabs alike. And just as medicine continues to grow throughout the world, in Israel it's just as important.
It's more than just a hospital. They take into consideration really the whole family. And that's unusual today.
Rabbi Morris Esformes is a philanthropic hero, a giant of our time. His commitment to tzedakah, whether in the city of Chicago, in many cities around the United States of America, and especially in the land of Israel, knows no bounds. And he's just a great guy to be around.
If you go back to the movie Wizard of Oz, where the person didn't have a heart, but in his particular case, he always had a heart, and he gave full-heartedly at all times.
One of the things that my father always said when we were growing up was that if you don't give, then you're nothing. And I think if everybody were to just give a little bit of themselves in that way, people would be treating each other nicer, there would be more compassion in the world.
He ignites the spark in people, whether it be in education, whether it be in tzedakah, or whether it be going to a baseball game. He ignites that spark of enthusiasm.
All my life, and I admit, I've done it in some unusual and some crazy ways. But my focus has always been Jewish children, helping the elderly, helping the poor, trying to make the quality of life for people better. And at this stage in my life, those are the real joys. You know, money comes and goes, years go by, but nothing has the satisfaction as helping another human being and making the quality of their life better.